Hey everyone, welcome back to Williamson Ridge Outdoors. Today we are on the way to the gravel yard with our PJ dump trailer because we are in some dire need of gravel for our driveway. We have had probably the last month or month and a half of pretty much nothing but snow and ice, and our driveway has softened up so much, like just when you go up it, it's just leaving ruts and stuff in the driveway. And then like delivery trucks and stuff are coming up the driveway and leaving big ruts. So I'm gonna try to get some gravel on this and get it actually packed into this super soft ground, and hopefully it'll kind of stick in there and solve our problems. So as you can see, especially on this left side of the driveway, the water kind of tends to go over here and like stay on this side. It is sloped towards this ditch, but with that being that way, it gets super soft and it's just super sinky in there. Now there's gravel on this. There's actually all kinds of gravel in there, but it actually just sinks down into the mud and then just kind of gets spun up and makes a mess of things. So I'm gonna go get some loads of gravel and hopefully fill all this in and kind of be able to level my driveway back out. And then with it being this soft, kind of get that gravel packed down in there good, and then put some good layers on top of it to be able to just run the box blade and smooth it up. So we've got our PJ dump trailer behind us. We're going to get about 3 or 3.5 tons in it, and that's all we can currently haul with our F-150 without exceeding the weight limits. So I'm pretty adamant about not overloading my dump trailer, or not really so much my dump trailer, but more of my truck, and what my truck weight ratings and all that kind of stuff are. I don't want to exceed that kind of stuff. And a lot of people are like, well, it'll pull more weight than that, and it'll haul more weight and it'll pull more weight than what it's rated for. But I don't like doing that, because what they rate them for from the manufacturer is, what is safe to haul or safe to tow on a regular basis. And that's what I try to stay in, because one, I don't like really abusing my truck, even though it's capable of more than that. So anyways, that's just kind of my thought behind it. So that's what I stay with. And so our dump trailer, between the weight of the trailer and what we can haul in it, is right at about 10,000 pounds. So I can put about 3 tons, maybe just a hair more than that. So if I tell them 3 and they actually overload it just a little bit, then it doesn't hurt anything. It'll still tow that without any problems. So anyway, stick around. We're going to head to the gravel yard and get our trailer filled up. We're probably going to try to make at least 3 trips today and get a good base of gravel on the hill, because they're actually, it's just February. So we can still have some good snowstorms and ice storms, and I'd like to have the driveway fixed back up to where that it makes it a lot easier to get up and down. We made it back from the gravel yard, and I went ahead and actually pulled the trailer up to the top of the hill and then turned around and came back, because I thought that with this much weight that it'd probably be a little bit easier to have the trailer up and like going down the hill as opposed to pulling that much weight up the hill and trying to spread the gravel. The only part that I have a little bit of reservation about is that right where I'm at, as the driveway curves, it actually slopes a little bit to one side. And I'm a little worried about the trailer being up in the air on this slope and possibly, you know, wanting to get a little tipsy. So what I've done on this is actually came down to where the driveway's starting to straighten out, and I'm gonna go ahead and go from this point, so everything I go from here is actually going to level the trailer out. So I'm going to go ahead and raise the trailer while it's sitting here, because I need to get this load shifted to the back. It's actually a little bit away from the tailgate, and I need to get it all the way back here against the tailgate before I open it. That way, as I start to raise the trailer up, then it should just start coming out evenly. Last time I tried this, I didn't do this ahead of time, and it made, you know, a streak in the middle and nothing coming out the sides for 20 or 30 feet before it started covering the entire width of the trailer, because I didn't have it shifted to the back. So we're going to go ahead and do that and see if we can't get this to work. I don't know, I probably should have done this before I parked on this hill, but we're going to try it and see how it works. Well, that third load didn't work out exactly the way I had planned. As you can see, the driveway, as it gets down towards the curve down there, it's actually sloped over to the side, and I was trying to get the trailer kind of up past that slope a little bit. And I thought, well, I'll use the tractor to kind of drag it both ways and get to where I left off from the first load and the second load to the third load. I could kind of bridge that gap by pulling it with the box blade. But I got up here and I started raising my trailer up, and the chains came loose on the tailgate, which then started making it just dump out the back. I didn't realize that's what was going on. I could hear it coming. Ended up dumping way too much through here. So I'm just going to get the tractor and get the box blade and kind of spread this out to the sides, and then, you know, level it off and drag the excess down the hill to that bare spot anyways, because I was going to have to do that anyways. It's not a big deal. I'd just like to have made it farther up the hill with this third load and kind of get all that soft spot kind of filled in. So I think, though, if I drag it both ways, drag some from the bottom end, because I have some thick areas down there, drag it up there, and then drag some from here and down the hill, I'll be able to kind of bridge that gap. And then I might be able to drag a little bit up the hill and get this kind of filled in to where it can at least make over that little peak right there. But if not, you know, I'll get another load and kind of fill it in from there. Once you get up to that point, everything's pretty level as far as side to side. It's still an uphill climb all the way up to the house, but it's not got a side to side tilt to it. That's going to wrap it up for today. We got 10.5 tons of gravel hauled and spread on the driveway. That actually worked out really well. I'm still a little worried about dumping that trailer on those sideways places on the driveway. But I think now, actually, after I kind of filled in the middle of the driveway, you know, and by kind of accidentally dumping too much with those chains coming loose, I think it actually might have helped. So now that I've actually spread that middle out, and as I drove through there, there's not nearly as much of an off-camber area there. So I think the next time, I think I can actually spread that right on through that section. The first load that I got, as I was raising the trailer up and shifting the load to the back of the trailer so that I could tailgate it, it actually started pulling the back end of the truck up. I knew to watch for that because I've had experience with pulling equipment trailers and stuff before, and I've seen people have that problem trying to load a piece of equipment, and they drive up on the back of it, it lifts the truck up, and then down the hill it goes. And I had the brake set plus the four-wheel drive engaged, and I was lifting that up, and as soon as I seen that, I started dropping the trailer back down to put the weight back on the truck. So it only moved about 2 inches. I had to really watch that because of being on that slope, but I don't think that I could have pulled the trailer up the hill. Only other problem with that, when you're going down the hill, the trailer has to be raised up extra steep because of the pitch going downhill. The trailer is actually fighting against that. So even to just get the trailer level, you know, if your hill is sloped like this and your trailer has to raise up to this point before it will even level out. And then you have to go past that to try to get the load to dump. So it's a little tricky going downhill. When you go up the hill, it's the exact opposite of that. You have the hill helping you out, putting a steeper angle in it, and it starts dumping way before it would need to if it was on flat ground. But the problem with that is trying to pull that weight up the hill. If you're on level ground, you can't beat tailgating it and using the trailer that way. The remote is just long enough to be able to reach through the back glass of the truck, and I can control it from the driver's seat. I couldn't be happier with the way that this PJ 14-foot dump trailer is working out for us. I've used it to haul coal, I've used it to haul firewood, used it to haul gravel. Couldn't be happier. It pulls really good behind our truck. So if you enjoyed today's video, I appreciate you hitting that thumbs up button. Also, while you're at it, subscribe to the channel and follow along with us for all the other projects we have going on around the property. And thanks for watching.